Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we are going to work on a Christmas arrangement. We're actually going to use some fun little gingerbread men. I'm going to use a ceramic container and some fresh floral foam. I'm going to take my knife. The foam has been soaked, so I'm going to take it and cut that foam. I'm actually going to leave about 2/3 of the foam. I'm going to cut off these corners, and the reason I am is so that my foam will fit well down in my container. It'll easily slide down into it. So I'm just taking and using my floral knife and just cutting those corners off. Now, anytime you use fresh floral foam, you definitely want to soak it in water first. I'm going to take and press that right down into that container, and I'm leaving a little bit of foam at the top. That's just going to give me a little more surface space to tuck my flowers and my greenery. Next I'm just going to take this leftover piece of foam, drop it right back into the water so it'll stay hydrated. Anytime you work with floral foam, if it ever dries out, it will not re-soak. So if you've got extra pieces, just drop it back in a bucket of water and you can use it for a later arrangement. Next, we're going to come in with some faux greenery. So I do not have any fresh greenery in the shop right now. I do have some ordered, but I do not have any in the shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of stems of faux Christmas greens using my floral snips, which this is very thick. Using my floral snips, I'm just going to cut it in half. So I'm going to take that greenery that I've cut, and I'm just pressing it right down into that floral foam. Now, of course, it doesn't need water, but that foam works to help me design the arrangement. So I'm just taking my snips and cutting that stem. So there's just some pretty mixed greens. I've got several stems here, but I'm also going to use some cocculus foliage. So this is pretty cocculus. I love the fact that this is a dark green foliage. I am going to take my scissors, because if I use my knife, I'm probably going to cut off some of the leaves, and I don't want to lose the leaves. So I just took my scissors and I cut that stem. And I'm just taking it and cutting it into smaller pieces, and I'm able to use it throughout this arrangement. So I'm just going all the way around. With that greenery, and just pressing it right down into the foam. But remember, you can always mix fresh and faux. It's going to make a beautiful arrangement, and most often nobody's ever even going to notice that you have faux in your container unless they got real close and touched it. They're not really going to know that it's artificial. And so a lot of times at my house, I'll mix the two. I just think it makes a pretty display, and nobody ever knows. All right, so that's 2 stems of cocculus foliage. It's not very much, and look at how full it has our container. Okay, next we're going to come in with some flowers, some fresh flowers. So, I have some red ting ting that's so pretty. Let's start out with our mums. So these are just a really pretty mum with a green center, which I think is so lovely. Look how pretty those mums are. Perfect for the holiday season. So I'm going to take my floral knife. I'm going to cut that stem at an angle, and I'm just going to push that stem right down into that floral foam. Look how pretty that lime green is. I'm going to take my second stem. I'm going to remove some of the leaves on that stem. I'm going to press that right down into that foam. And then I'm going to turn my arrangement around. I'm going to tuck my third stem right back there. Okay, so there's our pretty green mums all the way through. Next I have some red roses. So these red roses are called Freedom Red Roses. They've already been wired. I love this pretty bright red. So I'm going to just take those stems, cut them at an angle, and press those right down into that floral foam. Now, Freedom Red Roses are just a really pretty bright red. I don't use Freedom as often as I use Heart Roses, but look at how happy that red is. It's the perfect Christmas red. So I'm taking and I'm pulling off any of the petals that don't look nice. It's not going to hurt your rose at all. Just go ahead and pull those petals off. I tucked another red rose on this side there. So I'm making this arrangement kind of all the way around so that you can see all the pretty flowers all the way around. So more of a centerpiece style. Okay, there's another pretty red rose. Okay, next we are going to come in with some cushion mums. So chrysanthemums come in lots of varieties. They come in a daisy mum, a single bud or single bloom, which is called a disbud, or a spider mum, lots of different types of mums, daisy mums. This is called a cushion. Now a cushion mum has lots and lots of petals, and you don't really see the center of the flower like you do in a daisy. I'm going to take and pull off the individual blooms or the stems. So this is a spray flower, meaning it has several flowers on one stem, and I am going to remove each flower, leaving the stem as long as possible so that I can tuck it throughout this arrangement. So I'm just going to go all the way around, adding these pretty cushion mums throughout this pretty arrangement. Mums are so long lasting and come in every color, all the pretty colors. And so I think they are the perfect addition really to almost any arrangement, being spring, summer, fall, or winter. They really are a wonderful addition to any floral arrangement. Now when the stems are a little longer, you can always take the individual blooms with their stems and just push those into that foam all the way throughout that arrangement. Next we have some pretty green, lime green carnations. Now carnation's another very long lasting flower, so long lasting. So these are pretty green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that carnation, he's pretty tight, I'm going to take him and put him in my hand just like this, and I'm just cradling him between my thumb and my forefinger, and then I'm going to brush that carnation. Just brush that stem and open up those petals. So I just kind of opened that carnation. I'm going to take his stem and cut it and nestle him right down into that floral foam. Now a carnation is as long lasting as a mum. They just last so long. And they come in all the colors, lots of pretty colors. And so I really enjoy using carnations. Now we do not use them a whole lot here at the flower shop because not everybody likes a carnation. We do have them available, but we don't use them a ton. All right, next we're going to come in with some of our fun adornments. So we do have Ting Ting. Ting Ting is just, it reminds you a little bit, it's just a decorative branch. I do not know what it's made out of, but it's almost kind of like a curly willow. But this is red and glittered. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut that stem, and we're going to just use our ting-ting as height in this arrangement. Now often you can buy it in gold, and you can buy it in silver, you can buy it in lots of colors, and people will use it usually at Christmas time. They tuck it in the tops of their Christmas trees and different types of floral arrangements. But it's just kind of a fun added little adornment to an arrangement. And I do love that it gives us a pretty height. It's just kind of a fun added touch. All right, and then next we're going to add a couple of gingerbread men to our little arrangement. So I'm just going to take their stems. I'm leaving the length on them, and I'm just going to nestle. I'm going to just press that stem right down into that floral foam. Okay, and then we are going to add just a touch of ribbon. So I have this pretty gingerbread ribbon. It's just going to be a couple of loops. It's pretty wide, so I'm just taking that ribbon and I'm gathering it, and I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to do a twist and a loop and a twist, and then I'm going to cut that ribbon. Take a piece of florist wire. Now you do not have to add ribbon if you don't want to, but it's just kind of a pretty little added color, and it certainly does pull our little gingerbread men throughout. So I'm taking the end of that ting-ting, and I am just wrapping that wire right around that stem just to use it as a pick to tuck down into our arrangement. And I am just taking that bow and I pressed it right down in just like that. And you could put the bow on both sides if you wanted to, but it's just kind of a fun little way. Fun little way to decorate your table for the holidays. Guys, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our channel. That just helps us to grow. We would so appreciate that. If you have any questions about how we do things here at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. Drop that right down in the comments, and we are happy to answer your questions. Guys, I hope you have a great day. We'll see you real soon.